I gotta go put out the silverware.
Okay. For the 6 of us that are gonna show up, we'll see how it turnout we get. Mr. Johnson, your lawyer is here, and as soon as I get him in here, we'll readdress your case. Vivian, that lawyer is here also, but we're gonna take up another matter first, and we'll do that one. If I can find it. Had it. Mr. Peters. There it is. This is the matter of People versus David Neal Johnson. File number is 25688SD. Mr. Johnson is here with his lawyer, Mr. Ross Truckee. Angelique Camfield is here on behalf of the prosecutor's office, and probation agent Autumn Kiefer is also here. We got all 3 agents scheduled this morning, and so we're kind of rotating. Mr. Johnson is someone I've known for many years, and he has a lot of baggage and more recently some drinking driving cases. And I believe he's sick and tired of being sick and tired. So for several months, we've been working on getting him into our sobriety court program. Autumn has prepared a screening and sentencing report for us, which has a lot of helpful information in it. Mr. Truckee, what would you like me to know?
Well, the report. The report covers most everything that I would tell you, other than I represented Mr. Johnson on the 2023 case, and I guess it just wasn't time yet. He took a lot of looks around then and did a lot of the same preparatory things, but I don't know that the commitment really struck until this year in this new case, in this accident, which we acknowledge. You're right. Sick and tired of being sick and tired is about the best way to put it. When you're 63 years old and you've been consuming substances since, well, I don't know, the first time, but first convictions in 1980, and I would venture on a pretty thick limb that there's been substances tied in with all of these. You see those DVs in the late 90s, and that's often tied in with alcohol. Not that that's all it is.
This makes us all feel old, but I handled that case in 1980.
And I suspected that you probably handled the case in, I don't know if 05 was you or not.
Well, I was judge then, but those would have been circuit court matters. But everything up until 2003 was me as prosecutor, and everything subsequent was me as judge.
So what it is, there's this huge history and a lot of baggage, and there's no way to get rid of that. It is. It's been the life. But Mr. Johnson's here wanting to make his life different. He's got Mr. Solis here came with him. He's got a logbook of his entries at meetings, and he's walking the walk right now. He's talking the talk right now. And I think with some support from the sobriety court program, that can maybe become ingrained. An old dog can learn new tricks. So,
we've had a few who turned it over. Several of our people have been successful in large part because of Celebrate Recovery. Some of the members don't really prefer it, but some totally embrace it. I can think of several. In fact, a couple of them are still, I believe, involved in Celebrate at Destiny Church after several years after leaving our program. Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready, Your Honor.
Ms. Camfield, what's your thought?
Your Honor, I struggle with this particular case because of the length of history of criminal convictions, and not just substance related, but violence related. He's got 5 domestic violence convictions. He's got multiple convictions with respect to either, operating a methamphetamine lab or drunk driving, as the court is aware. He did 24 months of successful probation in 2023. I suspect he may have had an early discharge because he said as soon as he was released in June of 24, he started drinking again daily. He says he's ready, but in my experience as a prosecutor, he has had multiple probations, multiple opportunities to rehabilitate himself. He's been successfully discharged from those and gone back to the same pattern. In this particular instance, he again put members of the public in danger by driving intoxicated.
Yeah, this was a bad accident.
I mean, I am very pleased and want to give him accolades for going and getting the treatment and getting the assessment and attending meetings and doing what he needed to do after this. And maybe this was a final wake-up call, because easily somebody could have died, himself included. But, how long are we going to focus on rehabilitation over years and years and years and years and years, 20 to 30 plus years, instead of punishment? So that's where I struggle as a prosecutor, because he's had multiple opportunities, and yes, he's doing what he needs to do now, but how long will that continue? And are we going to put him into sobriety court and he completes it successfully, and then we have another drunk driving because he decides to drink again after a period of sobriety? I understand the addictive process. I thankfully have not had that concern myself, so I can't live it in that respect. But he's had so many opportunities and a very long period of sobriety, and as soon as he could, he started drinking again because he was not under the court supervision any longer. And that's where I just think that jail is more appropriate than putting him into a treatment program at this point. I understand the recommendation of Ms. Kiefer, given everything that he's done to this point, and perhaps he could be successful. It's when he's not supervised that he isn't. So I just don't know, Judge. You're in a tough position.
I've had more than a few people tell me, you can't jail me into sobriety.
Exactly.
I gave him 150 days in jail. I gave him 93 days in jail. I gave him 30 days in jail. Last time I put him on probation, which he successfully completed, and started drinking immediately thereafter. So under your theory, I just give 93 days in jail and he drink the next day. So I'm willing to try something else. As Ross said, maybe he wasn't ready, maybe he is. If we fail, we still have 93 days hanging, 92 days hanging over his head, and we can try it. I've seen people like Mr. Johnson change it at a certain point in their life. They start to feel better, they get healthier, they're not blowing all their money on alcohol, and life gets better. I'm willing to try it, and more importantly, Autumn's willing to try it. She spent a lot of time on this case. Betsy, our peer support person, has been working with him for months, and she's of the mind we should give him a chance. And he's employed at a decent job. He helps care for his mother. I put him in jail, he loses his job, and I lose supervision. He would get out in about 74 days and have no reason not to go drink again. So I'm willing to try it, but I certainly understand your perspective, particularly in light of the fact this was an accident, a bad accident. I think both cars got totaled. And he shouldn't have been there in the first place. He went home, went to sleep. Somebody woke him up and said, "Hey, I need a jump." I can't tell you how many hundreds of times that's happened. Somebody's gone home, gone to bed, got up because something happened and they shouldn't have got back behind the wheel. He said, I didn't feel too wobbly. Some of it is because he's such a good drunk that he can accommodate. But this time he almost died. Autumn, what's your thought?
Court's well aware of Mr. Johnson and his previous addictions. What he's done is he's traded one addiction for the other, and he acknowledges that. So worst we can do.
Methamphetamine for alcohol?
Absolutely, absolutely. So he has been sober for methamphetamine, which we all know is phenomenal for 9.5 years, but he's traded it. So worst we can do is fail.
Ms. Camfield has been a welcome addition to our prosecutor staff, and she started attending our sobriety court sessions. We haven't had a prosecutor involved for a long time. So I'm glad to have her involved.
Thank you, Your Honor. Happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. You've got a lot of experience as an attorney and as a prosecutor and as a person. So your input is valuable, but I'm gonna take a shot at this one. I'm gonna follow Audubon's recommendation. I'm gonna order 24 months probation. I'm gonna order 93 days jail. Credit 1, leaving 92 days to serve, and of the 93 days ordered, 90 are deferred. We've got 2 days to do, scheduled on a weekend. Fine is 0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, $100 screening fee, $960 probation oversight fee. I'm gonna deal with that while Luke is here.
Oh, understood.
A police reimbursement was not requested,
No, it was not, Your Honor.
and you're gonna be in the sobriety court program. Tomorrow's our first meeting for you. It'll be at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. You'd be able to get there by Zoom from work?
No, first appearance, I'll have to be in person.
Oh, yeah, you have to be here tomorrow
Maybe
live
in
in person.
person, yeah, it's already been took care of at work. I've talked to him about it, and I'll let him know.
All right. The fact that you've been plugged in to Celebrate and Pastor Solis is here supporting you gives me also a little encouragement. You've been seeing a counselor at Pivotal. As I said, Betsy's all in your corner and wants to see if we can make this work. That's $1,085. There will be other costs involved. No drugs and no alcohol.
No, sir.
Alcohol testing as directed. Also includes marijuana. I don't think marijuana's been your thing. Is there marijuana in your system?
No, sir.
I didn't think so. When'd you have your last drink?
My sobriety date's the 14th of April.
We should do the date.
Yeah, last drink was the 13th.
Right. We got a good group of people in the group right now who are gonna get on your case, just like me, to keep you on this program. Now, I don't know what the status of your driver's license is. It's about to be revoked. You have a way to get back and forth to work?
Yes, sir.
We may be able to get you an interlock, which will let you get back and forth to treatment, court, other purposes. All right. You go down and see Autumn, and I'll see you tomorrow when you meet the rest of the team.
Thank you.
As Autumn said, all we can do is either be successful or fail, and if we fail, there's 92 days left.
So.
All right.
Thank you, sir. You have a wonderful afternoon.
Luke, I got a surprise customer for you. Why don't you come on up? And then we'll bring in your other client.
Mr. Garcia, because he's not here.
What?
Garcia, Mr. Garcia Alvarez.
Is not here?
Yes.
No, I just got a message from Matt. He said he's running 5 to 10 minutes late from what he could understand. Because he had to speak.
All right.
No.
All right.
That's what I think she's saying.
Luke, this is Bobby Johnson. He was set for sentencing on a driving suspended second offense, and he failed to appear. In the meantime, he got arrested. He got another driving suspended case, and I set a bond on that case. In your original case, I'm just going to give him time served and the minimum fine.
Thank you.
He's
Judge.
been in jail for 2 days. I tried to get him to pay off some stuff. He got arrested Saturday night in Three Rivers. This is a Sturgis case. So on that original driving suspended that you pled to in 2024, I'm going to give you the minimum fine and the 2 days jail credit. Fine at 0. There's $125 of costs that must be paid for 2 additional days. You're sentenced to, I don't know if you did a day at the front end. Let me look.
Your Honor, may I have the court file number for that, please?
That is 242099OT. It was set for a bench warrant. He's in jail on the other charge.
Okay, thanks.
But this one, we're just gonna do 2 days credit, 2 days. All right, Mr. Johnson, I don't know if you're gonna be able to post that bond. If you do, you need to contact whoever your lawyer is. If you don't, that lawyer will come out to the jail and see you. But as I said, I gave you a break by stretching out the sentence to see if you could make some payments. You didn't not only make any payments, you got a new charge. And then you blew me off and didn't show up either for this sentence or that arraignment. And so you knew I was out there looking for you, and you got arrested by accident on Saturday. So that takes care of the first one. The second one is set for October 3rd at 8:30.
All right, let's talk about that. Judge Middleton's courtroom here showed both sides of his judicial style: cautious hope for someone finally trying sobriety, and sharp impatience for someone who just won't take court orders seriously. Our piece was David Neal Johnson, 63 years old, with a rap sheet stretching back to 1980. His lawyer admitted it was a lifetime of baggage: domestic violence cases in the 90s, methamphetamine involvement, and drunk driving sprinkled throughout. Johnson had done probation successfully before, even served jail terms 30, 93, and 150 days, but always went right back to drinking once supervision ended. This time, though, he'd plugged in to celebrate recovery, had a pastor supporting him in court, and was attending counseling. The prosecutor pushed back, saying he'd had multiple opportunities and blew them all, and asked pointedly, how long are we going to focus on rehabilitation? 20 to 30 years instead of punishment. Middleton didn't disagree with the frustration, but he wasn't ready to throw in the towel. He said bluntly, "I just give 93 days in jail, and he drinks the next day." So instead, he sentenced Johnson to 24 months of probation, plugged him into sobriety court starting the next day, and held 92 days of jail time over his head if he failed. The message was simple: treatment and structure now, jail if he blows it. Then came Bobby Johnson, a very different story. He was up for sentencing on driving while suspended, his second offense, but had skipped court. In the meantime, he'd picked up another driving suspended case, gotten arrested in Three Rivers, and was sitting in jail. Middleton didn't waste time. 2 days jail credit, the minimum fine, and a lecture. He reminded him that he'd already stretched out the sentence before to give him a chance to make payments, but instead of paying, Bobby picked up new charges and skipped hearings. Middleton's tone was tired but sharp. "You knew I was out there looking for you, and you got arrested by accident on Saturday." The new case was set for October, but this one ended with little patience left. The atmosphere across both cases was telling. For the older Johnson, the judge leaned into cautious optimism, recognizing that sometimes people really do change late in life. For the younger Johnson, it was more exasperation, another repeat license case where excuses had run out. Time to break this one down. Judge Middleton showed both leniency and firmness in the same session, betting on sobriety court for one longtime offender and closing the door on excuses for another. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.